for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
The Country Bears!
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
What is up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. A couple weeks ago, I did a fictional dog tier list and ranking, and today I'm going to do the same thing, but with bears. So I've got about 25 bears, I've got 3 honorable mentions, and that's it. Some of them are a group of bears this time, but it's always the same. It is one per universe in this one. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Alright, so I've got some honorable mentions first. The first one is the bear. I really like the guy from Shameless. I think he's really good. I haven't seen the show yet, but I've heard it's really good. Cooking's fun. They yell a lot, so it's like Gordon Ramsay. But yeah, no, that's my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention is the bear that women choose over men. They're safer. Men suck. And my third and final honorable mention is Bear Grylls. That guy drinks his own pee and climbs up waterfalls. I don't know, he can't not be on this list, even though he's not a real bear. Alright, now let's get serious. Starting out F tier at number 25, I have Mor'du from Brave. He is the big, angry, evil bear that is just gigantic. He's like bigger than a polar bear, which is crazy. He's kind of a dick, so I don't want to rank him higher. But he's there. He doesn't talk. There's nothing really interesting about the guy. He's just an evil bear. That's the extent to his story. He used to be a person, and now he's just an evil bear. At number 24, I have the Charmin bears, or Charmin bears, whatever you want to call them. So they're from the commercials. They're the ones for toilet paper that are just like wiping their ass on TV all the time. I'm sick of that. I hate that. Why are they there? We don't need them there. We don't need them doing that. I don't know. They always irritated me, like, yeah, no, your toilet paper is really going to be the one to help these bears wipe their ass better. Never made sense to me. Not a fan. Yeah. At number 23, I have the Coca Cola polar bear. Nothing really against him, specifically, like the two below him. But he's just kind of there, or she, who knows. They're just there on a melting thing of ice. Like those poor guys, they're not doing too well, but they're just hanging out, and they've got no personality. I can't really add anything to this, unfortunately. So yeah, they land at number 23. At number 22, I have Norm from Norm of the North. He was just a fun bear. I don't think he talked. I don't remember this too well, to be honest. That's why he's pretty low. But he was just there. He was just more fun. I don't think he ever talked. He was just going on little adventures and just doing stuff. Norm was just chilling as a bear. He did slightly more than the Coca Cola bear, and he didn't piss me off like the Charmin or Mor'du. So he lands at number 22. Alright, at the top of F tier, I have Bosco from Avatar: The Last Airbender, that series. Nothing really against him specifically, but I don't know, I always found the bit that like he was the only one that wasn't like a rhinoceros bear or monkey bear. Like they always had mixes of animals, but Bosco was just a bear, and that was such a weird thing to them. I always found that kind of funny, but he doesn't have much going on. There's no personality. He didn't talk. He's just there.
Starts with the letter C. Cookies.
Alright, starting off C tier, I have the Berenstain bears. Honestly, they're mostly on this list and this slightly high up because I thought they were boring. But for the Mandela effect alone, I find it very interesting that like people out there that are Berenstain bears and like all the different stuff, because that's one of the main Mandela effects. But no, they're just there. There's Brother Bear, Mama Bear, all that stuff. They're okay. They're just kind of lame. There's not a lot of really good bears, and they don't really show up until later in this list. At number 19, we have the Care Bears. You know, there's nothing wrong with being nice. There's nothing wrong with caring. So these bears, they're always doing nice things, and that's cool. And that's why they're a little up, but they still kind of suck, so they're not super high up on this list. But no, the Care Bears are fun. They're nice. I don't have much else to say about them. I probably should have written something down beforehand, but I didn't. So they land at 19. At number 18, I have Freddy Fazbear. So I got to learn a little bit about him from my brother, who's a big Five Nights at Freddy's guy. This guy, he's the leader. He eats kids. He's like, as far as I could tell, the soul of an eaten kid, which is crazy. I don't know. That's interesting. That's fun. There's a lot of lore with Five Nights at Freddy's. I found that out doing a little research on this, because there are a lot of different, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. I watched multiple lore videos on YouTube to try to make sure I knew exactly what I was talking about for Mr. Fazbear. But yeah, he's the leader. He's interesting. Eats kids. You know, that's how it goes. At number 17, I have Boog from Open Season. He, you know, Elliot. I think Elliot was the deer friend. That guy sucked. He kept getting Boog in trouble. Boog had a good life. Boog was basically a dog, but as a bear. He was just living in luxury inside. He had his own food. He had a cool owner, and he was just living life. But Elliot sucked. But no, Boog was okay. He was an okay character. He's in C tier, you know. He's not that great. But Elliot sucked for sure. If Elliot was on this list, he'd be an F tier. That guy just was causing trouble. Boog, altogether though, not bad. And at the top of C tier, I have Corduroy. I don't know if you remember this. This was an old book. Like, I remember it from my childhood, but it was like published in the 60s. But it's this little teddy bear, and he is in this department store, and he just wants to get bought. He wants to like find a child he loves. It was Toy Story before Toy Story, and a little girl and her mom come, and the girl wants to buy it, but the mom was like, no, because he's missing a button and he's expensive. Then Corduroy goes on a little journey because he wants to find a button. He wants to be worthy of the child's love and all this stuff. But in the end, it's really nice. But no, Corduroy's cool. Nostalgia really moved him up this list, because that definitely helped. But yeah, I like Corduroy. Top of C tier.
Start thinking B, my friend. Thinking B!
All right, now starting out B tier, I have at number 15, The Cocaine Bear. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but it is crazy. It's exactly how it sounds. This bear gets into a stash of coke and just goes on a tirade. And it has one of the funniest lines I've ever seen in a movie. Because there's two kids and there's an adult, and they're like, oh, climb up the tree because bears can't climb. And when I heard that, I was like, that doesn't seem right. I've heard bears climb faster than they run. And, oh, that was proven true so fast. It was really, really funny. But Cocaine Bear just goes on a tirade, and I don't know. It was really silly, and I would enjoy movies like that, because it doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be fun. And Cocaine Bear led the show. At number 14, I have Koda from Brother Bear. He was a little annoying. He was like the little brother character, the annoying little brother character, but he was also very sweet and very cute. He unfortunately had his family hunted down because he's a bear and there were humans, and then he became friends with the hunter. It's all good. Like, I don't know if you remember this movie. It's an old Disney movie, but it's really good. And Koda was a little Koda pendant, honestly. But no, he was a good bear. He was fun. He was a very well-rounded character, and yeah, he deserves to be at number 14. At number 13, I have Lotso Hugging Bear from Toy Story 3. So, I liked his... I think he's a dick, obviously, but, like, I like his character. He's very interesting. He really, really just went all in on being evil. He was such a dick. Like, I always think about the very end when they help him up, and they're about to get, like, sent to toy hell and just burn and melt, and they help him up to save everyone, and he just runs away. That's crazy. That's a really well-written villain. He, like, missed out on a child's love and just went full evil, and that's so funny. Lotso was really good, and he was like a mafia don almost, and I thought that was a really fun way to do it. No, Lotso was pretty cool. At number 12, I have the three bears from, like, the Goldilocks story. Specifically, the one I'm talking about is in the Puss in Boots movie. I don't know if you've seen that. That movie's phenomenal. You should absolutely watch that. But no, in that they're sillier, and I don't know, they're just fun. I really enjoyed their characters. Like, I'd like to see them come back in another movie, maybe in the Shrek movie. But no, I love their dynamic and their family, and I thought they were really fun. I'm surprised to put them this high, but I do stand by it. I think they were fun characters, and even in the old, like, storybook, it's like, oh, we gotta find it. It's just right, and I don't know. I really like that. All right, now for the top of B tier, I have Little John from the animated Robin Hood. Little John was loyal. He was, I don't know, Robin Hood did a lot of good. He stole from the rich, gave to the poor, all that. And Little John was his right-hand man, so you also have to be such a good dude. And I don't know, he's fun, he's funny. I really like the design of his character. I think that's really fun. But no, Little John was just out here getting stuff done and standing on business, and I was always about that. I always thought that he should get not as much credit as Robin Hood, but I'd say pretty close. So yeah, Little John's at the top of B tier. All right, starting at the bottom of A tier at number 10, I have the Country Bears. I don't know if you remember the fever dream that is this movie, but it is a live-action movie from the early 2000s where a bunch of bears go on the road. And it does not look good. I love it. I love it so much. And they play in a band, and it's so good. It's so fun and so silly. And I need to rewatch this movie like right now, because if you've never seen this movie, you check it out tonight. It's worth it, I promise. It's so weird. It's such a weird Disney movie, but I promise you will enjoy it. At number 9, I have Shao May from Full Metal Alchemist. This is a tiny little like handheld panda, and it didn't talk. It was just so emotive and so chill, and always stood on business and always helped in fights. I don't know, Shao May just always was such a good little bear. Shao May was, I don't know, just always trying to help and always crushing on one of the boys, and it was always funny to see that. I don't know, I really like Shao May, and she is at number 9. Number 8, I have Po from Kung Fu Panda. I think this one will get more hate than maybe anything else on this list, because the people that really, really like Kung Fu Panda, who like, they grew up on it, a little younger than me, like grew up on this movie and this series, and it's their favorite animated series ever, Po would be number 1 probably for them, or top 5 at the very least. I think Po's okay. I think he's lazy and a bit of a douche, and the Jack Black shtick gets a little old sometimes, I'm not going to lie. But I think overall, he is a good character. He absolutely deserves to be in the top 10. He, like, stepped up. He is a good fighter. He's a warrior. He's their savior. But I think he's a little overrated, if I'm being honest. I think I don't know. I think the people that really like him really overrate him. All right, at number 7, I have Fozzie Bear. This may be a weird one. Maybe a weird one to put here, but Fozzie was always so funny to me. Waka Waka, are you kidding me? Fozzie always cracked me up in any of the like Muppet movies that he showed up in. He was always the funniest character. They always had him play just the most random person, and I loved it. I thought Fozzie Bear was he's definitely one of the GOAT. I'd have to like really, maybe I should rank Muppets next, I don't know. But so funny. It reminds me of me sometimes, because I'll make a joke and they'll just get booed. I feel like he gets booed a lot. Maybe not literally, but Fozzie gets his jokes hated on, and Fozzie's funny. I stand by Fozzie at number 7. At number 6, and at the top of A tier, I have Yogi Bear. Yogi's just like me. You smell a pie, you smell some nice food, you are floating towards it. And I respect it. I think Yogi's such a good, he got Boo Boo with him. Yogi's just trying to live. He's just trying to he's saving people's lives by not eating them and just going after their little picnic baskets. I'm all about it. I'm all about Yogi. I'm all about everything he stands for. Just let the guy have a sandwich, guys. Come on. He's not asking for that much. Just like let him have a bite. Come on. Don't be rude.
Let's learn about the letter S.
All right, starting out S tier at number 5, I have Ted from, well, Ted. Ted's funny. Seth MacFarlane really, he's had a few movie debuts and stuff like that, but this one to me is probably his best that I can think of. I think he did a really good job not annoying us with too much of anything, but no, Ted's funny. Ted's so funny. He's well voiced because Seth MacFarlane voices him. It's just so funny to see a teddy bear become like such a prick. I think that's the best way I could describe Ted. And it's so funny, him bouncing off of Mark Wahlberg. Ted's a fun character. He's a great character. Those movies are really fun. That's all I got. But no, Ted's great. Deserves S tier. He's not quite as classic as the rest of them, to me at least, but he's great. All right, at number 4, I have Winnie the Pooh. I know you might think he deserves to be a little higher, but let me tell you, I didn't really watch any Winnie the Pooh stuff when I was a kid. I didn't. I read his books, you know, I read some of the stuff, I watched a little bit of the stuff, but I wasn't a Winnie the Pooh kid by any means. But I don't know, he just chills and eats honey all day. I'm about that. He's a good friend. He's got his boy Christopher Robin. He's in horror movies now, so he's really branched out. But yeah, you'd probably be higher if I watched a lot more of his stuff as a kid, but no, he's pretty great, and he landed at number 4, and that's not too bad. Alright, I know this is a silly one, but at number 3, I have Smokey the Bear. Guys, let me tell you, forest fires are bad. I know, hot take, literally, but forest fires suck. And he's been just out here chilling, telling us, hey, you know, maybe don't drop a cigarette in a pile of dead leaves. That might burn California completely. He's just out here trying to help. He's out here stopping fires, and I don't know, I always love the, like, only you can prevent wildfires commercials. I always thought those were fun. But no, this is a weird pick for number 3, I know, but I really, really like Smokey the Bear. I like what he stands for. He stands on business, and he deserves to be top 3. At number 2, I have Baloo. Baloo was such a vibe. He was in Jungle Book. I guess I didn't mention that, but Baloo from Jungle Book was such a vibe. He was so cool. He was so helpful and nice. I loved his vibe though. Of just like, I just want to chill through life. Like, I think he would have really, really gotten along with Timon and Pumbaa. I think Baloo would have just really gotten along with him. But when he needed to, he stepped up. He got stuff done. He was just out here saving Mowgli and trying to teach him how to be a man cub. And Baloo was great. And at the same time, he was also just kind of chilling, just kind of like eating food all day, sleeping. I love it. I'm all about it. Him and Poe would have probably gotten along pretty good. I just really like Baloo. I always thought he was really cool, and I didn't watch the Jungle Book a ton as a kid, but I always really liked Baloo. All right, number 1, easy for me, was Paddington. Okay, so if you've not seen Paddington, you probably hate this. I was confused at why Paddington was so beloved, why these movies were getting 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, stuff like that. But then I watched them, and then I saw, like, it is the most innocent, wholesome, fun little British movie, and they're so funny. And Paddington at times is such a little shit, but he's just always so well-meaning and so nice and so naive, and I love it so much. I recently saw the third Paddington, the last one, and they all hold up so well. I know I said when I was talking about Ted that the rest were classics. Paddington technically isn't, but to me, he will be. I can't wait to like have kids someday and show them Paddington. I think it's going to be so fun. I think it's going to be so like, I don't know, it's such a fun for all ages movie, and he's at the center of it, and he's just causing a little bit of trouble, but he's always well-meaning, and he's always fun, and I love his family. I really love Paddington. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment below who your favorite fictional bear is. Who did I miss? I don't know. Subscribe for more, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye.